Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Robbie. Good morning, Kimmy. Everybody good? All righty. Well, first of all, Minister Chiarelli, MPP Clark, members of Council of Westport, member of Council of Rideau Lakes, friends, business people. I thought maybe I'd start just for a couple of moments and introduce Minister Chiarelli to the Village of Westport. And although he has been here, a family member had a cottage, it's been a while. So I wanted to describe who we are in Westport. So the first kind of European settlers, it's not a whole history lesson, but there is a reason for this. The first European settlers to the area were the Irish. And they came over in the mid-1800s. We have, I always call them the five families. There might be 7 or 8, but I call them the five families. And many of their descendants are here, some of which came over on one of the coffin ships, the HMS Hannah. And with that Irish background, I can tell you that our St. Patrick's Day is wild and crazy. The warden in Renfrew County tells me that hers is the same, so we're trading places this year, and we'll figure that out. We also have people in the village who have come in from the farms, that they worked the farms, and then when they let go of the farms, they came into the area. A lot of widows, and that kind of speaks to dependency on government pensions. Then I look around the room, and there's a lot of people who have come from away, that they either had a relative, a cottage, a reason to come through Westport and decided this is where they were going to make their home. And we have business owners. Some of them are here today. We've got all the owners of the Cove here. I know Neil Kadrinko is trying to make his way here just in case he's outside the door. And all these people count on Municipal Council, the Village of Westport, which 2 councillors are here, for us to do our job. And that job is to protect their interests in the village so that they can live, work, and play. We also come together in other ways. We are committed to volunteerism. The backbone of this village is the number of hours of work that many of the people in this room do to make the village a better place. We dig down when it comes to fundraising. The people in the village, we don't put our hands out. We have raised, I'm hoping Bob Scott is kind of on the way. Bob's out here. Mr. Bob Scott and his group have put hundreds of thousands of dollars into our arena to make it a place where it's comfortable to go, a place we're proud of. Mrs. Kim Bonner is doing the same thing for Lockwood Field. We have an arts council that is very, very active, and Dr. Roberts is the vice chair of that. We come together, we have a common personality. We love our country, we love our province, and we love our village. We have an 84% turnout for municipal elections. And we will do our darndest to roll up our sleeves and put our shoulder to the wheel. But when our back is to the wall, when we call on the provincial government for help, we expect them to listen. And with that, I would like to introduce Minister Chiarelli.
Well, thank you very much for the interesting introduction. I recognize the tremendous history and heritage that we have in Ontario. In our small towns and villages, and they are still very, very important and very, very vital to this province, and so we respect what you represent here. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us, and a very special welcome to my colleague from Queen's Park, Steve Clark, for joining us today. I know he would never miss an opportunity to hear about the great work our government is doing for his constituents. And of course, we would never miss an opportunity to remind him of all of our investments in his riding. But it's really a pleasure to be here in Westport today. As I was mentioning to Mayor Jones earlier, one of my brothers had a cottage very, very just outside the village for a number of decades, and I used to use it quite often and come into Westport. So I appreciate the excitement that's here, particularly in season, and see the hustle and bustle and how important it means to so many people. Westport may be one of the smallest municipalities in land area, but Westport anchors this region in a very significant way, and we appreciate that at Queen's Park and the job that you're doing, Mayor Jones. Creating a high quality of life, making Westport an attractive place to settle down or operate a small business, and creating a sense of pride in this community as well. And I understand cyclists flock here to ride along the Rideau and the Cataraqui Trail. We all know about the specialty shops and the restaurants and the idyllic place that this is in the summertime. And so that's one reason why I'm happy to come back and be able to make this announcement at this particular point. It's a tremendous magnet for cottagers. That would not be possible without the public infrastructure. We interact publicly on a daily basis, and we often take it for granted. A clean water and wastewater infrastructure, including what we're announcing today. Westport's subsurface waste disposal system falls into that category. That is why our government is contributing $725,000 into Westport's wastewater project in partnership with Westport's contribution and also $1.4 million from the federal government to make a $2.9 million project. That is a very significant accomplishment for a community of, what's the population currently?
682.
Thanks. So what's 682 divided into $2,900,000? But we did work hard with your local MPP and the mayor and my staff. It was a tough nut to crack, but we finally did it, and we're very, very proud to be able to be here today. We do have an infrastructure project over 13 years of $190 billion in the province to help improve the lives of the people of Ontario, and that includes small, medium, and large communities. This investment today is just one of many our government has made and continues to make in the surrounding area as well, in your riding. And so, as my colleague Steve may know, communities here in the riding of Leeds-Grenville received about $1.8 million in 2017 through the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund, or OSIF as it's known. That was originally a $100 million fund for small communities across the province. We've tripled that to $300 million by 2018-19. The amount of formula funding received by communities in this region will grow. In 2018, it will be roughly $2.5 million. In 2019, it will be roughly $3.8 million. That doesn't include the $3.2 million that has already started flowing across this riding through the Clean Water and Wastewater Fund. The majority of Ontario's municipalities are small, rural, and northern, and we're committed to making our infrastructure investments work for them as well. By taking steps such as tripling the OSIF and making investments in broadband and natural expansion. And I would say that we're the first government in Ontario to initiate a rural program for expanding natural gas. This we heard from OFA and many others in rural Ontario that their electricity rates were very, very high. They were a very, very heavy burden. And one of the ways to bring that down would try to bring as much natural gas into the communities as possible. So we're just finishing the first tranche of that, the first intake of that, and we'll be announcing those projects probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. But what it represents is 11,000 rural households and small businesses will now have access to rural gas. The construction for that will probably start mid-2018, and we're considering expanding that project as well. So Westport's wastewater project is a testament to our commitment to infrastructure across the province, small, medium, and large and rural municipalities. And we're very, very pleased to be able to be of assistance to Westport. And with those comments, I'm pleased to ask Steve to come up and make some remarks.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Minister Chiarelli, for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. And I want to acknowledge the great work that Mayor Jones and the council has done. For those of you who were at the sod turning, or the earth turning we had at the site, I talked about the very first time I was in this chamber under the new council, and the fact that the council and the community had made such a commitment to this project. And anytime a community of this size decides that they want to go down the road of a major community infrastructure project, it really changes the dynamic of a community. And as the mayor said, this community's pulled together on every other infrastructure project so that this is the primary ask to government. And I want to sincerely acknowledge with my most deepest and sincere thanks the commitment that Minister Chiarelli and the government made to this wonderful community. We really needed the government, as the mayor said in her remarks, we really needed the government to come through for us. And I have to say, you being, as I am, a former municipal politician, you really understood the ask from Westport right from the get-go. And your staff were very engaging, both with my constituency staff and the staff here in the village. And I can't say enough what this means to this village and this community. To have the smallest community with a water and wastewater system is to some of us a badge of honor that we were able to all work together in such a collaborative basis. But it was that meeting that I attended in January, just after the 2014 municipal election, where I knew that the council and the community were 1,000% on side with this project. So it means so much to us, and I want to thank again. Words can't describe the thanks that I want to extend to you personally, Minister Chiarelli, for your commitment to this community. We're never going to let you down. That you need to know that this money is tremendously well spent, and the village is so committed. So to Mayor Jones and your council, the words that Minister Chiarelli said about being a testament to a commitment. You and your council and this community really need to have the accolades of many for your not just your tenacity, but your all-in attitude that we were going to make sure that not only this project was going to be a go, but some of those other projects like the arena and like the park, the fact that we were still able to grow community assets because the community bought in. It's so very important, and I just want to thank you as well. You're an amazing leader for this community.
Now, I know if the tough cop here had tears in her eyes, you guys would be shocked. I have been asked on behalf of the federal government to read a few words from the Minister of Infrastructure and Communities, the Honorable Sohi, who could not be here with us today, but we know have also put in $1.4 million into our project. So, the announcement of funding for the Village of Westport's large subsurface disposal system is indeed a great occasion. I wish I could have been there to celebrate with you. This project will provide immediate improvements to clean water infrastructure while also fostering economic growth and supporting a cleaner and healthier environment for the community. As some of you know, the Government of Canada has been working in close collaboration with our provincial, territorial, Indigenous, and municipal partners to deliver more than $180 billion in infrastructure projects over 12 years. Our goal is to build strong foundations for economic growth and middle-class job creation. We want to develop inclusive communities where everyone has access to the opportunities they need to thrive. Thanks to these initiatives and other projects like the one you're celebrating today, Canada will remain among the best places in the world to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you, Minister Sohi. So we've had the history lesson. Neil, you were mentioned in the history lesson. Bob and Barb Scott were mentioned in the history lesson. And I see, did Minister Chiarelli see you come in, Wendy? Ah, Wendy Stewart's here. That was a bit of a surprise when I said you may see some familiar people in there. There you go. Wendy, you were a councillor with Mayor Chiarelli, as I recall. All right, on to the end so that we can all woohoo. 3 years ago today, Frank, Jackie, we were sworn in this chamber on December the 1st, 2014. And we know from 2014 forward that this village paid $750,000 in hauling effluent. We approved payment of almost $500,000 to repair a wastewater system that was not functioning. And however, for all sorts of reasons, we needed to continue to get the job done. The first real council meeting we had then was 2 weeks later on December the 15th, and that's when this council made the decision by resolution that we were moving forward with the environmental assessment, and it was something that we felt very strongly about. As time has gone on, we have continued to look to see how we are going to fund this, and Minister, that today's announcements for the village lets us stand up tall again, know that there are other things that we will now be able to afford to do, while at the same time ensuring the stability for the community, because most of us, the councillors and myself, have heard from many that selling a house here has been difficult, because the questions that the realtors are asking is, what about the debt? So this will go a long way to helping the stability of the village and the other things that we want to do. MPP Clark, you're such a solid member for this community, and you heard my lamenting time and time again on how we were going to fund this project. And despite, many of you wrote letters to the government in here when we were turned down for the 2 OSIF grants, it was MPP Clark who got back to me and said, it's Minister Chiarelli you need to talk to. Minister Chiarelli has said, I'm the guy. MPP Clark just said, did you remember that day? And the day that Paul Snyder and I came to your office in April with MPP Clark was a turning point for me. There are people who know you, who call you Bob, people who live in the village who know you, and they said, how'd that meeting with Bob go? And I said, I believe him. I said, he shook my hand and looked in my eyes and said, we're going to deal with this. So, on behalf of my community, thank you for keeping your word. So that being said, we have a commitment, because this is a great photo op for you all, but better for the minister is he's going to actually get eyes on up at the construction site. It is still a construction site, so we have been approved to take Mr. Chiarelli and his people. Of course, I want the councillors to come, Councillors Huth and Brady to come, and the media. It's still an active site. They're working up there. As soon as they're not working, we'll have it open to you guys and you can see it. So thank you for coming. $2.9 million. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. I appreciate it.